Hello, everyone. It's me, Linda, from Stitching in Chaos, and I haven't been here in quite some time. I think the last time I posted anything, it was a little message saying that things were happening in the family and I was taking a little break, but things progressed from there. I'm going to share a little bit, but not too much into the detail. My son, he is an adult, of course, and has been struggling with a series of things. He is a recovering addict, and he also has some mental health issues. And back in March, he wasn't doing well at all, and he ended up going into the hospital after having some type of episode. He went into the hospital, and when he came out about a month later, about 3 weeks later, he just wasn't the same, and I felt like he was over-medicated, so we were really struggling at that point. He went back to work and everything. Well, sure enough, only maybe a month and a half, 2 months into that, it was right after Mother's Day, he ended up having some situations, mental health, he wasn't doing well. I'm going to interrupt my video for a moment because I left out some crucial parts here. David went into the hospital, my son went into the hospital because he wasn't doing well, and he ended up having an infection in his hand. And when he was being treated for the infection, he had a psychotic episode, and his fever was spiking, and they had to sedate him. So I'm going to be mentioning that part here, but I left out the fact that he had an infection. So while he was sedated, they were running a bunch of tests, and he had MRSA and staph, or staph turned into MRSA. I can't remember. But the problem was it was going into his heart. There is a name for it. I want to say it's, I should have looked it up. There is a name for it. I can probably put it down below. And that was why they ended up sedating him, because they were trying to slow everything down so that they could diagnose what the problem was. So, back to the video. Went in the hospital, and through a series of events, ended up being sedated and intubated. I couldn't fully understand what was going on. And of course, he's an adult, so there's only so much they're going to tell me until that point. And once it hit that point, they contacted his emergency contact, which was me. So for that week, that first week, he was intubated. I was dealing with some stuff here. My husband was in a lot of pain, which I think I've also mentioned too. He's been having like ongoing pain for 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and it would be in different areas. Well, I went to go visit him a week after he was in the hospital, my son, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So I was going to have a busy schedule that morning. I have a temporary crown that I was getting put in, and after a root canal. And so that morning I went for that. And then I left there and I went to the hospital to visit my son. And of course, we don't know if he knew I was there. So I was there for a little while, and I ended up talking to the social worker there and just trying to gather information and things like that. And then I left there and came back home. I can't remember. I think I went shopping and stuff, and we had gotten pizza for dinner. And my husband couldn't leave the room. He was in too much pain. So I ate the pizza with him in the bedroom, and then I came out into the living room to my computer area, and I'm talking to my daughter, and we heard a loud yell. He was in a lot of pain. We ended up calling calling 911 and getting an ambulance because there was no way I could get him out of here. So the ambulance came, he went to the hospital, and because he's a transplant recipient, he ended up being transferred. We were there overnight. Well, it was through the night. It was late. Same hospital my son's at. But that morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning, they transferred him to another hospital where he had his transplant. They prefer to, there's a lot of procedures that go with a transplant patient due to their immune system and stuff. So he got transferred there for them to take care of him. Now that's an hour away from me. So it was 4 in the morning, so I went to bed. I woke up, and I think it was around 9 or 10. I was going to go back to the local hospital to visit my son. I was exhausted, so I did not. I went straight to Hartford, and I visited my husband. And now I hadn't really eaten. I mean, everything is just happening. So I didn't really eat, and I stopped at the Whole Foods store on the way home, and I picked up a bunch of healthy things. And I will admit, I was so stressed out, I went straight to the healthy bakery, and I grabbed a few things from there. And one of the things I grabbed was an RX bar. I love RX bars. And so I'm in the car, and now I'm eating because I'm hungry, and I'm stressed, and I'm worried, and I'm driving, and I'm eating the RX bar, and all of a sudden I'm biting on something, and I'm like, what is this? And I pull it out, but I'm driving, and I'm like, is it a nut? It wasn't processed, and I threw it out the window. And it didn't take that much longer to realize that it was the crown. It was a temporary crown. But yes, I had just tossed it out the window. I didn't end up going to the vascular dentist for another week because there was just no way. So through the process of that week, I spent a lot of time visiting both hospitals. So it was just being here, working in the morning, rushing to one hospital as soon as visiting hours was done, and then rushing from there to the other hospital, spending a couple of hours with him there, and then coming back home. So that probably 4 or 5 days, I can't remember exactly. It turned out my husband had gout. They ran so many different tests, and yeah, that's what the diagnosis was. And as soon as they put him on steroids and did all of the things, he was feeling so much better, and he was able to come home. And he was able to come home in the middle of the week while they were going to wake my son up near the end of the week. So I told him I needed to be there because he had some paranoia sometimes. And so I was there as they tried to wake him up. And if anybody's been through this, it's a long process. And he was like slowly coming out of it, but he would get agitated, so we were trying to keep him calm. And the whole week, every time that would happen, they would sedate him. They would just put him back under. But now I'm here, and I'm trying to help them, and I'm trying to keep him calm. And he wasn't ready. When he did finally wake up, he was struggling with breathing. And they had asked me to leave the room while they took the intubation out. And when I came back in, he was gasping for air. So he was not doing well. So they ended up re-intubating him. And that was after 2 weeks of being intubated. So the psych team came in, and they got involved, and they decided to wean him off some of the medications, which were narcotics, to sedate him and start putting him back on his mental health meds, which I don't know if he was on them before and they just weren't like up to par, but they worked on them and got them regulated. So we spent another whole week of me visiting, hanging out with him even though he was sedated, and then them allowing him to wake up again. And this time it was so much better. He was allowed to wake up, and I knew from experience with my husband, because he was sedated for a month as well when he got his liver transplant, because the first one failed and he had to get a second one. And so he was sedated for a whole month. So I knew what happens when they start to wake up and how, they're just not really there. It's not really them. And so we went through that for a while, and he was having a lot of paranoia and delusions, and we couldn't figure it out. And he was on his medications, and he had an outbreak, and they had to he had a psychotic moment, and they had to calm him down again, but they didn't sedate him like they did before. It was just a total back and forth. And at the end of it all, they finally figured it out. One of his medications that he's been on for a long time raised his ammonia levels. High ammonia levels can cause paranoia and delusions. So they had to switch him off that med and put him on another med, which was a gradual thing. And they had to give him something else to help clean out the ammonia levels from him. As that started to happen, he started to come back. The delusions were slowly going away, and he was himself again. So, yeah, that was about 5 weeks in the hospital, and he has a new place now that he's living at, and he's extremely happy, and he's back to work, and I am so glad that he's doing so well, because it was touch and go there. It was so bad that they had told me in the hospital that it was probably permanent. And I'm so glad that I don't listen. I will admit, I did the first day because it completely broke me down, but I went back to the hospital the next day with a no, this is not. And I fought with them because they almost let him leave. When he was in the middle of his delusions, they almost let him leave. And I was like, he can't leave. And finally, one doctor came in and just talked with him and looked at me and said, oh, he's not leaving. So I am so grateful. The Lord's hand was definitely in all of it. I'm so happy he's doing so much better. And now it's time for me to breathe. So he's only been out for a week and a half. So yeah, he's doing really well. So I'm so happy. And it's time for me to finally relax. And with that, it's perfect timing, because in less than 4 days, we're going to the New Jersey retreat, the cross-stitching retreat. I can't remember what it's called right now, but I think it's just the New Jersey stitching retreat. I could be wrong. I am so excited. I've never been to a retreat before. Yes, I'm going with Terry and Joe. We're taking a train. We leave Thursday morning. It is coming so fast. I had a really hard time with this because I had been struggling with work and trying to balance everything. And I only did the minimum hours last week because of everything that was going on. And so I put in for a week off work. And if you know me, I don't do that. My daughter was really bugging me, and she said, Mom, you really need to take the whole week off. So as of right now, I do not work until I come back. So I'm so excited. I'm just really looking forward to this, if you can't tell that already. So in preparations for this, I have been watching videos and trying to get tips and tricks and going to Terry and Joe and asking all kinds of information. And we got together last week and I planned my stitching table. You know, I wanted to make sure I was bringing everything. And it was funny because Joe turned around and looked at me and said, it's funny how she thinks she's going to stitch. I'm like, what do you mean? Of course I'm going to stitch. Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? So apparently, most people don't get much stitching done. So we will have to see. That's okay. It's fine with me because I'm going to love just not being home for a while, to just an escape from reality for a little bit. I'm going with my 2 friends. I'm so excited about that. We're actually going to hang out together and share a room. I'm just really excited. So even though I'm told that I'm not going to be stitching much, I figured since I am so behind, I have not updated on anything, I haven't been writing anything down, that's okay. I've barely been stitching, but I have a little bit. I'm behind on a lot of things, but that's okay. So I figured that I would show you what I'm bringing. Now, I'm bringing 5 projects. I am turning 55 on Saturday. 55 on Saturday, and 5 is my favorite number. So I figured I would just bring 5 projects. They're not big projects. They're pretty small. Not that small. But compared to Heaven and Earth Design, they're small. So I'm going to start off with, I'm going to do the Stitch and Mommy Temperature Quaker. And I'll let you know. I'm behind on this one. But that's okay. I can catch up. I have all the weather written. So far I have finished up to May and started June. So there we go. So really liking how this one turned out so far. So that's why I'm there. And what I'm planning on doing is when I'm done and I come back, I'll show you my progress. If I didn't get much done, that's okay. It's no big deal. Let me put this in here. So that's the first one. And then we had done this thing where Terry and Joe were going to help me pick out. We were each going to pick out each other's project. But then it got changed, but I kind of still stuck with it. So Terry had picked out this one for me. And I would really like to see this one done. It's Robert Grove Craft, Let Go and Let God. Something that was very important to me in the last couple of months. Very hard to do. And this is where I'm at. I don't even know where I'm at. Okay. This is where I'm at. So, not bad. We'll be working a little bit down here. So, let's see. And the third project is one that Joe picked out. And it is from, I think it's Hands-On Designs. Let me find that picture. Yeah. She's also working, well, I don't know if she's bringing hers, but she also has this. And Joe, no, Terry just finished this, I believe. So yeah, Hands-On Design. And I did not get that far in this one at all. I'll fold it up because it's black. There you go. So that's why I'm there. And the next one, I really wanted to join a club, and I had been waiting. I think they're called the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I had been waiting, and they finally started up one. I'm behind, but like I said, I will catch up. Life happens. That's okay. So I cannot show you the actual picture of it because it's a secret. We only get shown glimpse of it each month. You get like a small portion of it. I don't know why I'm folding this. I have not even finished the first portion. The second portion already came out. And like I said, that's fine. I will catch up. But it is called the Homecoming Castle, I believe. Let's see. I have paper right here. I wasn't really prepared for this video. Castle Homecoming Club. So, this is where I am right now. I got really excited when I did this too. Oops, there we go. Look at that. I am going to like this one a lot. And so that's my fourth one. And we even got some classic colors for it. So yeah, it's from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So if you want to check them out, I don't think it's too late to join in, or I don't really know how it works, but yeah. Pumpkin Stitchery. Okay. And then I decided I wanted a new start for my birthday. So on Saturday, I am going to start this one. I've been wanting to for a while. And I have everything but 2 colors, but somebody's going to bring them for me. And it's Let's Eat Chocolate. Because 2 of my favorite things are chocolate and cherries. So it's red. Love that. Chocolate and peanut butter. I guess I have a lot of favorite things, but that's okay. I really like this. So I'm going to start that. I'm going to start it on 14 count. It's sparkly Ada. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. But it's sparkly. And it's something I already had in my stash. So yeah, those are what I'm working on. I am so excited. And I'm going to share this. On Saturday is my birthday, I told you. And Terry and Joe decided to make it even special, more special, because it's already going to be special because I'm spending it with them. So Terry made this card. It's gorgeous. I love it. I love it. And then she even decorated the back. And even, it looks so good. Love that. And then in it, I have Longhorn. I already know what I'm eating. That's where I'm going for my birthday dinner. So excited. So excited. I already know what I'm eating. I can't wait. I think that's it. I don't know. It's been so long since I've done a video. So, and I really hope, yep, it's recording. I've got 20 minutes in now. Okay. So, yeah. Sorry about the whole story about the past 2 months, but I figured I have been learning that there's no point in hiding things. Sometimes it's good to share, because once I started doing that, I started learning more about other people and what they were going through. And there's nothing better than not feeling alone. I mean, it really helps to know that you're not the only one, and to learn tips and tricks and how God is there for us, and verses, and just feeling the love of other people and knowing there's no judgment. There's no, we really don't have control over mental health. That's something that, unfortunately, everywhere. I think all of us struggle with something, and some of us more so than others. So I want to thank everyone for praying, because I know Terry had my son on the prayer list for a long time. His name is David. So I just want to thank everyone for praying and for thinking of us. And he's going to get through this, and he is really doing fabulous. And my husband, he's doing great. Right now he's got some wrist pain, but that's from a different incident. It doesn't really have anything to do with the gout. But he's doing great. Ever since he got out of the hospital, he's been able to go places and do things, and it was getting so bad that we actually thought we might need a wheelchair. So you just never know, and we know that gout could come back, and he's ready. He's got medication to help him if it hits, but not that it could come back, but the inflammation could come back. So yes, but right now everybody's doing great. I can't wait to take a break, to go see some other cross stitchers. I know Danielle's going to be there from Stitcherisa. I don't know anybody else. I don't know anybody. So, and Danielle doesn't know me. I've only watched her video. But, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to this. I hope everyone has a fabulous week, and I will do a video when I get back. All right? Bye.